Hey, do you know that song by the Jackson 5 called ABC? You know, ABC, 1, 2, 3, that's how easy love can be. So I'm driving along on this family road trip, and that song comes on the radio. And it hits me. Is love really as easy as 1, 2, 3? And if that's the case, why does it feel so complicated? This is a topic that is so deep, it's going to take us 3 episodes to unpack it. So join us for episode 1. Welcome to Love Lessons Learned, where we undo the problematic lessons we learned from our past and learn new lessons so you can graduate to the happy, healthy, loving relationship you always dreamed of. Sounds like fun? Definitely sounds like an adventure. So join me. Hello, welcome back. I'm Katrisa Myers, or Professor Cat, here to share the next love lesson, helping us develop healthy, whole relationships, that relationship your heart desires, using the lessons I've learned about dating. Now, here's a funny thing. I thought I was going to do to introduce this topic, defining love. I sent out a message on Facebook to my Facebook friends just asking them to define love. How would you define love? I was expecting to get a whole bunch of a variety of definitions because my Facebook family is pretty vocal. I was expecting to get some Bible verses and things like that. You know what I got? Crickets. I got crickets. One person was just like, I can't even go there, which I thought was interesting. And a lot of the people on my Facebook world are people in loving marriages for years, decades, even some. And no one can really answer that question as to what is love. And if they could answer it, then how do they expect us to figure it out? Those of us who are trying to still find that love our heart desires. So I thought that was interesting, but I was not discouraged because the answer to what is love, we can find that right in the Bible. And as I said in lesson 1, if we don't know what love is, and how will we recognize love when we see it? How will we be able to give love um, in that relationship that we desire? So it's a cyclical situation. We need to know what it is, so we need to know what we're looking for, and we need to know when we find it, and we need to be able to give it to ourselves as well as to give it to others. And so that's what we're going to do today. I use a lot of PowerPoints in my classes, my job classes, but I don't plan to use a lot of PowerPoints here. But I think because we're going to do a lot of definitions, I thought it would be more helpful to just use PowerPoints instead of me just trying to write everything down and use my little cheat sheet. So that's what we're going to talk about. Is love as easy as one ABC 1, 2, 3? Is that song sounds cute? It is a cute song, but in reality, is that how easy love can be? I think the issue with that is if we were all on the same page, it would be that easy. But we all come from our own life experiences. We all have our own set of values and education and all these things, family structure, and all those things feed into our definition, whether we can articulate a definition or not. That all feeds into it. And so we're all coming from different walks of life with our own experiences with love. And I think that is what complicates it for most of us. But we're going to see. Isn't God awesome? Because he gives us the definition. He defines love for us. For all of us trying to figure out what love is and how we. And I asked those people on Facebook, and the answer is right here, right? 1 Corinthians 13, 4-8. Most of you have been familiar with this. If you've been to a wedding, you may have heard this specific scripture being read out. Love is patient. Love is kind. It does not envy. It does not boast. It is not proud. It does not dishonor others. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. Love never fails. That's beautiful in and of itself. That's a beautiful statement. But move my face over. I realized I was covered in the flowers. Beautiful flowers. Um, so if God puts it out there, and that seems pretty straightforward, pretty clear. Why is it so hard to find this? And why is it so hard to do this? Is what we're going to be challenged with. Um, so when we look at this verse, go to the next slide. I identified actually 14. I didn't change these numbers right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 different characteristics of love that were identified in 1 Corinthians 13. And we're going to look at all of these because all of these are important. If they're in the word, they are important in how we understand it and approach love. Do we have these things or don't we? And how do we find them? We're going to be looking at that. So because there's so many, I had to break this lesson into 3 parts. So part 1, we're going to just focus on the first 4, and patience, kind, love being patient, love being kind, love does not envy, love does not dishonor. We're going to look at those, and then we'll move into the next grouping and the next grouping, and we'll be done. So over the next 3 weeks, we'll break these up. Okay, starting with patience first. Love is patient. So what does that mean when we say that love is patient? Think about, as we go through all of these, I want you to be thinking about your current relationships, your past relationships, the people you have dated. Were they patient? And are you patient? Were you patient in those relationships? That's what I want us to hit on first. So let's define patience. I just went to our good old Webster's Dictionary and use the definition there. Patience is the ability to remain calm and not become annoyed when waiting for a long time or when dealing with problems or difficult people, or where something is being done in a careful way over a long period of time without hurrying. I think we want to focus on this first part here. The ability to remain calm and not become annoyed when waiting for a long time or when dealing with problems or difficult people. Can you say that the people that you have dealt with in a relationship, dating context, were they patient with you? Were they able to remain calm and not become annoyed? This is not asking for perfection. Yes, there are always going to be times when we get annoyed with someone, when we get frustrated. That's okay. Unless it's a pattern of behavior, the person never owns up to it, never apologizes. Now that's a different thing. But I'm not asking for this person to be a saint and never lose their patience. But how quickly do they rebound from it? And what are the consequences when they are impatient? Do they explode? Do they degrade you? Do they speak to you in an unkind way? All of those things when they're losing patience. Do they cut you off? Are they rude? Are, you know, yes, it happens that people can lose their patience, but how do they rebound? How do they rebound from it? How do they recover? How do they treat you when they're not patient? But the default setting should be patience, right? If you do something that they don't agree with, or you're late, you didn't call back as quickly as they may have wanted, the default setting should be patience. And if that's not the default setting, meaning most of the time this is them, that is a red flag. Same for you. Are you patient? Do you get upset? Do you cut people off because they didn't get back to you right away? They didn't respond to your text right away. They were late for the date. How are you responding as well? So if there's not patience in a relationship, yeah, it's not going to flourish, is it? Because we're all a work in progress. We're not perfect people. And so if someone can't be patient with you when you make mistakes, when you don't show up on time or things like that, if they quickly lose their patience and they get frustrated with you, how can you ever grow? How can you ever feel comfortable in that relationship? You're going to be always on eggshells, right? So patience is an important quality. And I want you to think about that and comment in the chat below if the people that you've dealt with in the past, were they patient people, or were you finding yourself always having to defend yourself if you made a mistake, or dreading making a mistake because they had no patience with you at all? And conversely, were you that impatient person? And if that is an issue for you, then we need to work on that, right? Ask God to help you become more patient. So people always say, well, don't ask God to help you become more patient because He's going to send a lot of hardship and trials your way to develop patience. Um, One, I don't think that's true. He has many ways that He can build us up. And hardships and trials are going to come regardless. So, but you definitely want God to help you if that is an issue for you. One, to recognize it, recognize those situations when you're not being patient, and allow you the grace to step back. I catch myself at times, like I'm in a supermarket, someone is annoying me, and I'll say, oh, God, thank you for this opportunity to develop my patience muscle, because I know this is an area where I can do better. Not so much so with relationships, but in other areas of life, patience is a big deal for me, something I'm constantly working on. Love is kind. What is kindness? Having or showing a gentle nature and a desire to help, to do good things, and to bring happiness to others. I always say relationships should be a happy experience. You should be enjoying your relationship, whatever this relationship is. So think about in past relationships, were you having fun? Were you enjoying it? Um, for some, it may have started out really fun and enjoy it, and then it just never was like that again, and you found yourself constantly trying to do things to win that person back or get back to that's early stages. That's a different kind of, sometimes we call that love bombing, or sometimes the relationship was just had run its course, and some we just need to let it go. But in general, in relationships, is the person, your partner, someone who is kind? Did they want to help you, help others? Did they want to be good to you? Did they want to bring happiness into your life? That's great. Or were they the opposite? Not gentle in nature, harsh, mean, unkind, not helpful, tearing you down, putting obstacles and barriers in your life, not wanting to bring good things, but dumping all their issues and problems on you, dumping all their past trauma on you, not bringing happiness into your life, but bringing stress, bringing chaos, bringing drama into your life. That's not kind. That's not love. So think about that. In your past relationships, were the your most recent partner, was that person kind? And are you kind? Do you have a gentle nature? It doesn't mean that you have to always be walking around um, singing kumbaya and talking in a soft voice all the time. But a gentle nature just means that you're not explosive. You're not so quick to snap on people and yelling at people. For the most part, you're at a zero as far as your emotional temperature. Zero meaning you're right in the middle, even Steven, not in a deficit, not um, going on 100, going off on people, snapping on people. That's not gentle. Gentle nature. Do you desire to help that person at your relationship? I think sometimes I'm the extreme of that. I try to help too much. We don't want to help too much either. We need boundaries. Um, but are you trying to be helpful? Are you trying to do good things for that person? Are you trying to bring happiness to that person? Looking for ways to be a blessing to that person, whether we're talking about a dating relationship, a friendship, familial, family relationships. What are you bringing? If this is an area for you, again, if I identify that this is a place where I have an issue, give it to God. Tell him. Oh, make him so happy if you, because he already knows. You're not telling him something he doesn't know. He's all so willing to help you if you just give it to him, and then be open to see what he does in response. So kind. Love is patient. Love is kind. Love does not envy. And envy is defined by Webster as a desire to have what someone else has, to feel envy because of something. And how does this look? How does this play out in a relationship where this person cannot be happy for you? They can't be happy for you because they want what you have. You have a good job, you just got a promotion at work, and they're not making as much money as you are. They're not happy about it. That's envy. Um, you're getting ready to go on this great vacation with your family. They don't have a great relationship with their family. They're not happy with your family situation because that's not what they have. They envy it, right? And we have to be careful with that envy, because when people want what you have and they can't have it, they'll be more than happy to try to tear down what you have, right? To bust up those family relationships because they can't have it. They don't want you to have it either. Because they don't have the money or the success that you have, they may be sabotaging your money or success or undermining your confidence in those areas because they don't want you to have what they can't have. So think about that. And had you seen any of that in a past relationship, if you see that envy, this is not love. It's not love. And again, we all have our bad days, our weak moments, right? So we're talking about ongoing patterns, not a one off. This happened this one time, this person's out. But if you're seeing ongoing patterns of this, it's a red flag that this is not love. Comment below if you've seen this in your relationships, or are you the one? Do you have a hard time being happy for other people, even your partner? They're making way more money. They have a great relationship with their family, with their kids. They have a really nice car. I don't have these things and I'm not happy. So when they're doing things or enjoying their life, you turn up and you're like the sour apple in the room, the Sour Patch Kid, and you're bringing everything down. Is that you? Again, give it to God. If you're recognizing that God is so happy, He's not judging you, He's not condemning you, but He does want us to be better, because it'll make imagine if you were able to be delivered from envy, how much happier your life will be. When you can walk in a room and see someone have what you don't have, and you can be happy for them, that is so freeing. So don't be afraid to give these things to God if it's you that's dealing with it, and surrendering it to Him and asking Him to help you, because all it's going to do is set you free and make your life that much lighter and happier. You know, the Bible says to cast your cares on Him. His yoke is easy and burden is light. So think about that. It's at an area for you. So one more for today. Love does not dishonor. Love does not dishonor. What is dishonor? To cause someone or something to lose honor, to cause someone or something to no longer be respected. Down here also we have to fail to do what is required by a promise, fail to honor your word is really what that's saying. Have your past relationships, is a past person in your relationships, did they not have honor? Did they treat you in a way that was honorable, or did they treat you in a way that showed no respect? This is a big deal. All of these are big deals, but this is a big deal. If this person who's with you currently or in the past did not honor you, did not treat you with respect, that is not love. And this is one I think we tend to, I see it so often, and I think, why are you letting this person talk to you this way? I think in the modern world, we are so used to it, so accustomed to it, that it doesn't always ring in our ears as disrespect. If we talk to our friends and we use derogatory words when we talk to our friends, we may be comfortable with that, our partner using those same type of words with us. That's why I try not to use those words. But it may become very gray when someone is being disrespectful. So we can't just rely on words, but the overall treatment. How are they treating you? Are they respecting your wishes? Are they respecting your boundaries? When you're out with friends or family, are they speaking in a way that is about you, that is respectful? Are they talking about you in a way that is derogatory, that's pulling you down, making fun of you? Are those types of things? It can just be such a fine line. As if you've grown up in a household where people call each other names, again, you get into a relationship and that person is doing the same thing, you feel comfortable with it because that is what informed your idea of relationships as a child. But it's not good, and it can graduate to more and more dishonor and disrespect, and that's not love. I see, when we talk about intimate partner violence, and it doesn't always have to be physical violence, it could be, again, verbal violence, emotional abuse. Um, when someone is saying these types of negative things or calling people names, and my thought is, well, why are you with this person? If they're this terrible person, why are you with them? Um, Same way for that person, why are you permitting this person to disrespect you in this way? You are God's child. You are a child of the King. So you should not be. You are not a B word. You are not a MF. You are not any of those letters in the alphabet. God loves you, and the people that He has for you will treat you with that same level of love and respect. Also, if you have been through trauma in the past, you can start to build up a sense of shame within yourself, that you're not worthy of love, that you're not worthy of good things. And you can start to beat your own self up and dishonor yourself. And then you bring into your life someone who's more than willing to pile on. Instead of building you up, they're more than willing to pile on because they feel badly about themselves, and they'll want to bring you down to their level by cutting you down, by calling you names, by insulting you, by undermining your confidence and all those things. So think about that. The person that you were with in the past or currently, do they treat you with honor or do they dishonor you? If it's dishonor, it's not love. And that's what we're looking for, right? We're looking for healthy, loving relationships. We need to be able to identify when we're not getting that. So if you're not getting kindness, if you're not getting patience, if you're not getting honor, it's not love. Any one of those things, it's not love. Okay? So we just walked through all of those. And I want you to now think about, as we went through all of those different characteristics, which one is your strength? I never want us to be only thinking in a negative space. There's way more good in our lives than bad. I'm back in the flowers again, so let me get out of the flowers. There we go. Which is your strength? We looked at patience, kindness, not envying, and does not dishonor. Which of these would you say for you is your strength? Maybe all of them are your strength. Put it in the comment below. I would say for me, kindness is, probably one of my great qualities, my best qualities, if I could say so myself, and not in a boastful way. But I like to be kind. I look for ways to be kind to people. I'm always looking for that. It makes my heart feel good to be kind to others. Um, so, and when you're kind, you are treating people with love, according to 1 Corinthians 13. So let me know that. What is your strength? Out of those four that we've gone through, we all have one, and maybe you have more than one. If you want to put more than one, you can. But what is your strength? And then I want you to think about patterns when you answer this question. Looking at past relationships, can you identify any one of those four characteristics as a common trait among the people that you've dated in the past or past relationships? I have to kind of think about that because I popped that question up on myself right now. Did any of my past partners, if I see a pattern among them, is it patience? Is it kindness? Is it that they're not envious? That they treat people with honor? Um, I would have to say Patience? No, 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 no. Yeah, I would say that out of these four, and we're going to go through all of them, out of these four, it probably is that they do not envy. I can't say that that's been like dealing with jealousy or any of those types of things in relations. It's popped up here and there among the people I've dated, um, but definitely not something that I've seen a lot of in my relationships. So, does not envy is probably the main one of those four that I would say. And the reason I ask this question, because again, I want us to see that, yeah, we may not be where we want to be, but we do a lot of things right. There's a lot of good that we're doing. And so I want, even in attracting men and the types of or attracting partners, what kind of people we're dating, there may be a lot more uh, bad qualities and good, but there is something good. There's something that drew you to that person. That's something that kept you with that person forever long. So I want us to be thinking about those, the good as well as the bad. So which tends to be the strength? I would say for me that they did not envy. That was theirs. Um, Partner's deficiency. Which one of the ones that one or many of the four tend to be your partner's deficiency? So again, looking at patterns, is there a common trait among your partner's current or past that you see? Kindness, they don't have kindness, they don't have patience, they don't treat people with respect or honor, or they are envious. Do you see a pattern there? And this one I probably could answer more easily and say honor is probably the biggest one that I've seen. Um, and not to say that the men that I've dated have been like verbally disrespectful to me, because that did not happen. Um, and if they did, those relationships ended very quickly. But I would say honoring boundaries. Yeah. And maybe also because I wasn't always honoring my boundaries, that was a big deal. That's a common pattern. Hey, I'm an attractive person, right? So of course you're gonna have the physical attraction, but there have definitely been points in my dating life when I've wanted to be, celibate, and sometimes they said, yeah, that sounds good, and then the lines got very blurry. They weren't always honoring that. So that was, I would say, that's a common pattern that I've seen. Um, Most of the men I've dated have been kind enough, patient enough. Um, and if there was an issue with patience, probably can tie them with sex as well. They probably went hand in hand with boundaries. And like I said, I really didn't deal with the envy one. So put it here. Where do your partners, where do you see a pattern among your past relationships of those four? Envy, patience, honor, kindness. Where do you see the issue? And then one more. What is your deficiency? Which of those four are you could be almost awesome in all, right? But is there one that you dip a little or you really need to work on? Um, which of those, kindness, patience, honor, or envy, do you feel like you need to come up a little higher on? That's your deficiency. So I would say for me, um, patience, patience, patience. Um, Still working on it. I'm definitely not where I used to be. I've definitely grown a lot with respect to patience in general, and dealing with students, co-workers, friends, family. I've gotten better, and someone who knows me may be watching and saying, really? Yes, I have gotten better, but specifically in the relationship realm, I know I've gotten a lot better. I know I've gotten better, but there's still an area, being patient with people and not letting things get me riled up or anxious. Um, Understanding that that person is on their own journey and they need grace too. I need grace, they need grace, and just trying to be um, not so quick to make decisions, um, being more willing to sit in the quiet. I think that's something I'm working on. Um, I haven't heard from this person. What does that mean? Not quickly jump into, oh, they're cheating or they just dumped me. You know what I mean? But maybe their phone died, you know? So not so quick to jump to conclusions. That's something I'm working on and gotten a lot better at. Yeah. So but I can definitely come up higher. I can definitely do more in this area. And so whatever your area is, now we can come out of that. Whatever your area is, I just encourage you to give that to God. Pray about it and just surrender it. Like I said, God wants you, He's always on your side. He's cheering for you, and He wants you to have the full life. Jesus died that we have life and have it more abundantly. He wants you to live an abundant life. And these are things that can weigh us down and keep us from finding the love that we want, whether it's in that person, allowing people who don't have those characteristics of love to hang in our lives longer than they should, or us not displaying those characteristics to others. Either one can be a barrier or an obstacle in any kind of dating relationship. So if you identify it, you can write about it, journal about it, give it to God, and trust that He will help you. He wants to help you. All right. And with that being said, just like last week, I will post your homework assignment, and I encourage you to take some time with it, sit with it, and do your best, because that's how we learn, that's how we grow. And we're going to keep growing with these lessons specifically about love. By the end of this, I want us to have a clear picture of what love is so that we can do an evaluation of our current relationships. Are these loving relationships? And if you're not in a relationship, when one presents itself, because it will come, you will know quickly enough whether this is something that's worth pursuing, because it has a foundation of love, or is this something that I don't even need to get involved with because it's just going to pull me down and set me back. We want that loving foundation, because that is where you build a healthy, loving relationship. So that's all I have. Do your homework, and I'll see you in the assignment review, and then I'll see you in lesson 2, part 2. Lesson 2, part 2. That sounds good. Take care. Bye-bye.